Good morning, students. In the last class, we have completed the government companies. What are the meaning of government companies? Meaning, features, merit, demerit, and suitability of the government company, as well as we have studied at the comparative study of the government company, public corporation, and departmental undertaking. So today we are going to start a new topic of the a third chapter, that is changing role of public sector. The public sector has been playing a vital role in the economic development of the country. Despite their impressive role, public enterprises in India suffer from several problems such as poor project planning, excessive overheads, overstaffing, underutilization of capacity, inefficiency, etc. To overcome these problems and to bring improvement in the efficiency level of the public sector, some steps are taken by the government. So, although the performance of the public sector enterprises is not remarkable, but then also government cannot ignore the development of the public sector enterprises, because these enterprises help to overcome the social problem of poverty, unemployment, imbalance in the regional growth, etc. What we have seen that the public sector, there are different public sector undertaking. We have already studied that there are three kinds of departmental undertaking, public corporation, and the government company. Okay, they play a very important role in the economic growth as well as development of the country. But we have seen that from the 100 20 to 50 decades, we have seen that the role of the public enterprises is not so much impressive, because several problems such as poor, because we have not a particularly go through the that accomplishing the any objective, and public sector is facing different kind of problem because of poor project planning. They do not have the proper planning of the project, and too much excessive overhead. They have too much paperwork as well as too much regulations, and the interference by the political parties. Overstaffing means too much staffs are also there. Underutilization of capacity means capacity are not properly fully utilized, and inefficiency, and there is also inefficiency of the public sector undertakings are find out. To overcome these problems and to bring improvement in efficiency level of public sector, some steps are taken by the government. So government want to overcome from these problem and want to bring improvement in the public sector undertaking, role of public sector. So for the overcome from these problem, some steps are taken by the government. Okay, we have seen that these problem are occurs when the India got independence. India got independent in 1947, but problem in public sector has find out till to 1950s. They are not too much they are not too much effective and efficient, and does not create more and more profit. These all are gone in the suffer, and the too much losses does not create too much profit. So although the performance of public sector is not remarkable, but that means it is not the public sector undertakings and enterprises are performance of that are not good, but still we cannot ignore the public sector undertaking, because these enterprises help to because these kind of enterprises help the any individual or the society to overcome from the social problems like poverty, unemployment, imbalance in regional growth, because the public sector undertaking provide the too much employment opportunities. If public sector and PSUs provide the employment opportunities, people get employed, so they not suffer from, they are not be poor. So despite the various imbalances and various problems of the public sector undertaking, we can't ignore the performance as well as the dedication of the public sector undertaking. So government has taken various steps to change the role of public sector so that its efficiency can increase. Okay, government has taken the different steps so that the efficiency and effectiveness of the government sector as well as public sector undertaking will be increases. So what are the different steps? Now see, changing role of public sector. Government policy towards the public sector since 1991. Okay, it indicate that the government has created any policy since 1991 in the public sector. Government of India has introduced four major reform in the public sector in its new economic policy of 1991. A very famous new economic policy of 1991 came so that it changes the all over the structure of the economy. So in this new economic policy, government of India introduced the four major reform in the public sector. Okay, these are restructure and revive potentially viable PSUs, close down the PSU which cannot be revived. Okay, government gave the chances to the that PSU that are potential, so that they give the options for the that PSU that they can restart their PSU and do their better performance. So restructure and revive means restructure, restability, restart and restore the potential viable PSU. Those PSU which have too much potential, they can restart that PSU, close down the PSUs which cannot be revived. Okay, those PSU which can't restore, that PSU should be closed down. Third is bring down the government equity in all strategic PSUs to 26% or lower if necessary. Okay, government equity basically in the non-strategic PSU. Basically on the non-strategic PSU, the equity limit should be decreased up to 26% or less than the 26%. And the last one is fully protect the interest of the worker. Okay, the interest of the worker, the one who are working in the PSU, they do not lose their interest for the working as the member, as the staff of the PSU. The interest of the member should be protected. Okay, these four are the basic major reform which were taken in the new economic policy 1991, which were: first one is restructure and reform the that PSU which have the potential, and close down the that PSU which can't be restored. Third one is bring down the equity limit, especially for the non-strategic PSU, up to the 26% or less than the 26%. And the last one is fully protect the interest of the worker. The worker who has working in the PSU, they should not lose their interest in doing the any work in the working as the PSU. Okay, the steps taken to achieve the above mentioned elements are: okay, these are the different steps to achieve that four major reform. The first step is reduction in the number of industries reserved for public sector from 17 to 8 and then to 3. Okay, in industrial policy 1951 1956, there were too much industrial policy resolution were made. First IPR is made in the 1941, in which mixed economy in our country is has adopted, so that there would be a role of both public as well as private sector will be there, and all the important decision taken by the government and the what will we produce, how will we produce, it will decided by the market forces, that is demand and supply. So next IPR, industrial policy resolution, came into 1956. There were 17 industries reserved. Okay, there were 17 industries reserved exclusively for the public sector. In 1991 industrial policy, the number was reduced to 8, and then in 2001 it bring down to 3. Okay, it means that the in industrial policy 1956 there were 17 industries was there which were reserved for the public sector. Okay, but in 1991 when the new economic policy reform were came, at that time that 70 industries is reduced to till 8, and in 2001 when we talk about in 2001 the 8 industries shifted to the only 3 industries. Only 3 industries are reserved for the public sector, and all other industries are the private sector. Okay, what are the 3 industries which were under the public sector? The first one is atomic energy, second one is arms, that means defense. Okay, and third one is railway. Okay, these 3 industries are under the control of the public sector. Okay, it come in the 1919 one new economic policy, that there were in 1956 there were 17 industries were reserved for the public sector, but in 1991 it reduced up to the 8, and in 2001 only 3 industries were reserved for the public sector. Okay, this means after 2001 the public sector could enter in the all areas except 3. Okay, it means that the all the private sector can enter, can be set up their industries, can produce any commodity, but except only 3 sector, or these 3 sector are atomic energy, arms, and railway transport. Okay, government realized that if we allow private sector in most of the sector, this will encourage even public sector to perform better when they will have to compete with the private sector. The government also think that when we provided freedom, when we give opportunity for the private sector, it will also beneficial for the public sector, because before 1956 there were no other industries were there so that they can compete with the public sector. So all the public sector think that the all economy is depend upon us, and there were no any competitor to whom we can compete. So for the after 1991 government think that if there were entry of the private sector, so that public sector will also encourage to do their work effectively and efficiently and develop their quality product when they have compete with the private sector. Okay, now next is disinvestment of shares of a select set of public sector enterprises. This investment refers to a sale of equity shares of the public sector units to the private sector and the public. Okay, it also introduced in the new economic policy 1991. It is called the disinvestment. When the shares of the public sector is sold out to the private sector, it is called the disinvestment of the shares. Okay, now the government decided to withdraw its holding from PSU and encourage more participation of the private sector in managing public sector units. Okay, now the government decided that they were withdraw from the holdings, means shares of the public sector units, withdraw their holdings or equity shares from the public sector, and they will they will more participate in the private sector, so that they were also able to manage the public sector unit. If there were too much competition were there, so that public sector will also encourage to bring more and more quality. And also government think that if they were compete, if they were work with the private sector, so that they were also able to to see the to see the also the public sector, and more participation of public sector in the managing public sector unit. Okay, government participate more in the private sector, so that they can also manage the public sector. It was expected that if it will improve managerial efficiency of PSUs. Okay, it was doing for the reason that it will it will improve the efficiency of the public sector unit. So the shares of the public sector is to sold out to the private sector, and government taking participation in with the managing the private sector, so that they can also manage the public sector. And with the all these changes, the efficiency of the public sector will also increases. So the primary objective of the privatization are: first one is releasing the large amount of public funds blocked in these unit, and utilizing them for the other social priority project, such as education, health, etc. Okay, these such amount of shares were kept with the public sector. So government think that they can withdraw such amount of money, such amount of shares from the public sector, and invest it into the other priority sector, that were education and the health. It is also it is always the most important development of the country, most important part of the country to develop it. So government also think that they can release a large amount of fund from the public sector, and utilize them and invest that money into the most priority sector of the country, of the society, that is education and health, reducing debt and interest burden. Reducing debt means a loan. Okay, when the government will when the government will sold their shares to the private, so that they can earn more and more fund, and from that fund they can pay out all the debt which the government has taken. So government also paying all the debt, so the debt will also be reduced. Third one is transferring the risk from the public sector to the private sector. First of all, there were too much uh, risk in the public sector. When the government sell their shares of public sector to the private sector, the risk of the private sector will also reduces, so the risk of the public sector is shifted to the private sector. Next is reducing the government control. Okay, when there were too much government control, government will do according to their need, and according to their own interest. They do not think about that the more and more profit, that the government should growth and development. For that, when the shares of the public sector sold to the private sector, there were also control of the government is reduces. Okay, that one is D. And the last one, that is E, discouraging government monopoly. Monopoly means a single controller, means a single individual who will control all the authority. Okay, so the government also discourage the government monopoly. Monopoly were in the telecom, means communication. So it were also discouraging. Now the private sector or are also involved in the providing the facilities of the telecoms. Okay, now the third one is policy regarding sick units to be the same as for the private sector. Sick units means that public sector unit enterprises that were not in good condition. They were bearing too much losses. Okay, that is called the sick unit, that they are not capable to do their business properly. Okay, now all the losses all the losses making public sector enterprises were handed over to BIFR. Okay, it is called the Board of Industrial and industrial and financial reconstruction. Okay, all the losses making, all the sick public sector units are given to the BIFR. The BFIR decided to wind up some very sick units and to revive and rehabilitate some other sick units. Okay, now it is the responsibility of BIFR that they will do with the sick unit. If they want to wind up to close the sick unit, they can, or if they want to rehabilitate or restore that public sector unit, so they also can. Okay, some others, let me, yes, sick unit, and to rehabilitate some other sick units where there is scope to convert them into the healthy unit. Okay, and now it is the responsibility of the BIFR, so that they can wind up this very sick unit, or they also revive or restore the some sick unit into the healthy unit. Okay, it is the all the responsibility on the BIFR. It is the Board of Industrial and Financial Reconstruction. There was lot of opposition shown by the worker and employees of the units which were decided to close down. Okay, when there were close down of the sick units, the all the workers as well as the employees show their opposition, because if that sick unit will close down, they will become the unemployed. So that they were show too much opposition, as well as show their angriness, as well as so that they create too much contradictory, so that the government will not uh, wind up that industry. So the government of the India set up a national renewable fund to rehabilitate and compensate the worker and offer them the various voluntary retirement scheme. Okay, so the government, what will do, government set up a new national renewal fund to rehabilitate and compensate the worker. Okay, the government the government will set the new fund unit, that is national renewal fund scheme, in which the worker has to be compensate with they have provided the some amount of money, so that they can compensate, as well as they can also offer the voluntary retirement scheme. Okay, the one who want to retire, they can, or the government will provide the some retirement scheme, some retirement pension to all of them. There were many enterprises which were very sick, and the government is not in position to feed them anymore. Okay, so there are too much enterprises, so they are very sick, and they are not able to regulate and manage all the industries. So the government is not in now the government is not in position to provide the all the facilities and provide the food as well as other services to the that units, as well as the workers of the that industry. Okay, that is why the government has to take the harsh step of the closing these unit after providing safety to the work. Okay, that is why the government taken the final step, or the strict step, so that they can decided to close all these unit and providing the safety and all the compensation to the workers, the one who are doing their work, and they also provide the under the scheme of the national renewal fund. Okay, in the scheme of national renewal fund, all the government has rehabilitate as well as compensate the all the worker, and also offer the uh, voluntary uh, voluntary retirement scheme, so that the one who want to retire, they can retire, and government will compensate all of them. Okay, it is the policy regarding the sick units to be same as the for the private sector. Now all the public sector is treated as the private sector, where they were suffering loss too much, they can they can wind up and they can revive and restore when they are incapable to again revive. Okay. Now the next is memorandum of association, memorandum of understanding. Under memorandum of understanding, the public sector is given greater autonomy. Okay, in this memorandum of understanding, the public sector is given greater autonomy. They have self control. They can change whatever they want to. They are given the target, and to achieve this target, these units are granted operational freedom, but they are accountable for not achieving the result on time. Okay. In that condition, what they will do, they are given the target. Okay, in that condition the public sector have some target, and to achieve this target, these units are granted operational freedom. If they have some kind of target, if they achieve that target, they will find out the operational freedom. Okay, if they achieve that target, they will able to work according to them. Okay, so after then there will be no interference by the government. But if they do not, so that they are also responsible for the that. Okay, if they will not fulfill their target, they are also responsible, and they are also accountable for not providing the result on time. Okay, it is given here, it is not result on time. Through MOU, memorandum of understanding, the unnecessary interference of the minister can be reduced. Okay, there was too much interference in the operational, but through the memorandum of understanding, that is MOU, through this there were unnecessary interference of the minister is reduced, and more autonomy is granted to these units. Okay, they were too much freedom, they have too much freedom to work, to do their operation. They are held accountable for the specific result, but they have responsible, they have accountable to give the final result in positive terms. Okay, if they do not give the final result, they are accountable for that, why they were not achieved that any target on time. Okay, these four are the steps are taken by the government. The first step is reduction in the number of industries reserved for the public sector from 17 to 8, and in 2001 there were only 3 industries are reserved for the public sector. Second one is this investment of shares, that means all these equity shares are of public sector are sold out to the private sector. Third one is policy regarding the SIC unit. All the SIC unit are handed over the BIFR. It is on the basis of, it is up to BIFR that if there were very SIC units, they can wind up that industry, or if they want to revive or restructure that unit, they also can. And the last one is memorandum of understanding. In this, all the industries have the freedom, and they all the unnecessary interference of the minister can be reduced, and they have got the more autonomy in operation, as well as they also accountable for the providing the better result. Okay, now the next is, what is the difference between the private sector and the public sector, on the basis of the point of the difference. Okay, first of all we have take the some revision of this topic. Okay, changing role of public sector means in the public, we know very well the public sector plays very important role in the economic development, but the condition or the situation of the public enterprises is not so good, so that they have suffering several problems, according such as they have poor project planning, as well as excessive overheads. Overstaffing means there were too much worker, and utilization, there were no properly utilization of their capacity for all. But we can't ignore the development of the public sector enterprises, because these enterprises also work for the social problem like poverty, unemployment, and imbalance in the regional goals. For that, government has taken various steps to overcome from these problems. Now, the changing role of public sector, the government policy. When the new economic policy 1991 were introduced, the four major reforms were taken. The first one is the first the first one is restructure and restore potential viable PSUs. The PSU which are potential, they can restructure or restore. They can start their activity, their business again. Second one is close down the that PSU which can't be revived. Third is bring down the government equity in all strategic PSU. The government equity in all strategic, which is not a strategic, the government equity should be lower down up to the 26%, as well as and below the 26% also, and there will fully protect the interest of the workers. The interest workers should not be lost. For the all four major reforms, the various steps were taken. First one is reduction in the number of industries. First of all, in 1956 there were 17 industries, but in 1991 the industries were reduced to 8, and in 2001 the industries were only 3. So it is the taken on the only 3 industries were there: atomic energy, arms, and rail transport. The second is disinvestment of shares. That means all the shares of the equity shares of the public sector is shifted to the is sold to the private sector. Third one is policy regarding the SIC unit. That means all the loss making, all the SIC units handed over to BIFR. Now it is up to the BIFR that the SIC industries will be wind up, or they can rehabilitate or revive their business. It is up to the BIFR, and the government of India will set up a national renewal fund in which government will compensate all those workers who are fired from their work, and at that step and that time government providing the safety also to the workers through the national renewal fund. And the last one is memorandum of understanding, in which the public sector have the more autonomy to the scale of operation, as well as they have given us some target and they have to fulfill that target. If they were not able to fulfill that target, then they are accountable also for the achieving the result, not achieving the result on time, as well as in from the MOU, memorandum of understanding, the unnecessary interference of the minister also be reduced. So it's all about the topic, that is changing role of public sector. In the last class we have in the next class we have started a new topic.